Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. I am Everardo Resendiz. People around here know me as Coach Ever. I'm a certified business and executive coach at Action Coach in Northwest Louisiana. Today I have Hunter McFadden with the owner CEO of GreenCube as my guest. We're going to be talking about the business, the journey to what it's like to have a business like this, the challenges, best practices, and maybe take a peek under the hood to see what really makes it work, right? So if this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. So whenever we do drop conversations like this, you will have first dibs at it. And so, Hunter, welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Everardo. Appreciate it.
Will you share with us a brief overview of your background and tell us a little bit about the business?
Yeah, so I grew up in Northeast Louisiana, went to ULM, graduated from there, went to work for the local hospital in IT services, and then in 2005 stepped out on my own and never looked back.
Wow. And so set the stage for the business. Is it a single owner business? Do you have any partners?
I have one
Um,
partner, 15 employees now. When I started, it was just me, obviously.
that's awesome. And so I'm gonna dive right into it. So
Yeah.
so what made you take that leap to start your own in 2005?
Watching my dad in the 80s, as I grew up working for himself, um, hearing some other mentors of mine tell me that uh, don't go work for somebody else's dream, work for yours.
Good. And so you decided to take that leap.
I did.
What did it take at the time for you to be able to do that?
I, you know, Most people don't believe me, but I did. I built my business without any capital. So I knew I was going to start a business, but I did have mentorship and guidance. So I did have those two things. But I was working full time at the local hospital, and I would take my vacation time and go do consulting in the field that I was already in, which was IT services, primarily dealing with Citrix consulting, which was a little specialty and got really known for doing that in the state. So I would do that on the side. And then as that consultancy practice grew, I was able to step out on my own and then fully start, a business partnered with Greg Pritchard here over in Monroe. And then together we've built a, pretty sizable business.
That is awesome. And so, what's your role in the business right now?
I have many roles because it's still with only 15 people on the team, you still have to fulfill all the, a lot of the roles. But I'm the CEO, I'm the chief technical officer, an account manager, I'm a, sales guy, uh, you know, technical
Everything.
consultant, a whole bunch of different roles, HR sometimes.
Janitor in chief.
Oh yeah.
I get it. I get it. And so, when you look at all these roles, right, a lot of them have to do with the operational needs of your business, right? But
Mhm.
nowadays, how much of your time is dedicated to the operational part of the business and how much is dedicated to, let's talk about the growth, the on the business part of his strategy planning, etc.
Right now, because we're going through a growth spurt and having some growing pains, and we've engaged some other consultants to help us business wise. I would say probably right now, somewhere between 70-80%, I'm working on the business, not in the business.
It takes a little bit, right? To be
Yes.
able to break through that. That is excellent. And so let's move on to what makes your business so special. Um, who does your business primarily serve? If I were in the audience, how will I know I was a good fit for you?
So we serve predominantly right now, we serve healthcare, healthcare, financial services. We actually have a pretty good number of independent insurance agents. So we serve that community as well. Um, and we do that with cloud hosted desktops. So it's a turnkey IT solution. You just log in and everything's there for you.
Very good. And so how does or what makes your business unique? I mean, how do your competitors, they stand against you?
What makes our business unique is really myself and my business partner and the culture we've created internally, right? It's the people that we've hired that fit a culture, and that culture is a good match for the customers that we have.
Hunter, what makes your business unique? How do your competitors stand against you?
Well, what makes us unique is myself and my business partner, and really the culture that we've created internally with the people that we've hired. We've set some standards and expectations of our team, and really, one of the heartbeats of our business is we're in business to serve our team, so that our team can effectively serve our customers, so that we can go out and serve our community together. And so that's really the heartbeat, you could say, of the business. And so that in and of itself helps us stand apart from our competitors. Our competitors sometimes just have an IT culture, whereas we have, a people culture.
That is awesome. You see, I don't see a lot of businesses that have reached that level of let's call it clarity, okay? Where they know that the work that you do is through your people.
Hmm.
And so your first line of service isn't your customers, is the people that work for you. That is
That's right.
awesome. I love that. And so what is one thing you wish more people knew about your business?
Uh, that we existed.
How
Oh,
do you mean?
IT people don't always make good marketers.
Right? I get that. Well,
So, I
that
mean,
brings
we're
me into my
overcoming.
next question then. I mean, I'm always curious about how people get out the word that they are there.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your approach to marketing? Is there like a budget that you lay out for the year and you have specific channels to go through?
So that's one thing that, we're getting some coaching on and make sure we do correctly. But for the most part, over the time that we've been in business, it's been through client referrals or networking events that we've gone to, industry conference events and stuff like that we've attended, and just getting to know people, being nice to people, and letting them know that we exist.
And so I assume that the majority of your business is coming then from referrals.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, do you have a system in place to track your leads, CRM, or how do you funnel people through?
Yeah, so I mean, we are using a CRM that incorporates into our what we call a professional services automation tool that we use in the IT industry, and that encompasses a lot of the CRM and the ticketing and the billing aspects, of our business. So that's our one source of truth that we go to, and we can actually get good metrics on what's going on.
All right. I asked that question because it's not often that people have a system to begin with. So it's in many cases it's just keeping a piece of paper with the names of the people you need to be calling.
Mm-mm.
Some other people have gone to the sophistication level of an Excel spreadsheet, right?
Yeah.
But really, it makes a big difference when you have a CRM and you have queues in place, things that will help you through the process of um, not only converting your potential customers into customers, but to keep the service levels high. So that's excellent. And you being an IT company, that really is almost like a must, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've learned a long time ago that if you do it more than once, you need to automate it,
Here you go. Very good. And
which requires
so,
a system.
do what?
Which requires a system.
Requires a system, right? It does. And nowadays, with all these new offerings in technology, um, it's almost like too confusing, right?
Hmm.
Like, where do I go next? How do I choose what's right for me? You know, that's when we need people just like you guys to be able to help. And so, let me move on to a little bit of that journey that you went through. As you look back at your journey, what has been the most memorable roadblock for you or hurdle that you were forced to overcome?
Hmm, it's a good question. Um, I don't know. There's been a lot of memorable things, but I guess the most transformative was, learning that, you know, developing a good company culture is the foundation to your business, and making sure that that aligns, through your hiring process. Um, you know, I, there's been a couple of things that I've learned. Hire slow, fire fast. Make sure you bring in the right person. And when they show their true colors and they're not the right person, you let them go fast.
There you go. I
So
wholeheartedly agree. And so, how long ago did you come to that point of clarity?
about 3 years ago.
All right. So it's been very
Yeah.
recent.
Mhm.
And so, what's been the impact since you started taking those actions?
Well, we've developed a better team internally. So, excuse me, goodness. Um, so in through a better team, we've been able to better serve our customers and not have the headaches, and I don't have to worry about, how my team treats the customers or treats each other.
Very, very cool. And so, let's fast forward and look at what comes next.
Mhm.
So, where do you see the business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Ah, so right now, I mean, we're into the seven figures, but we want to get into the eight figures, and then well into the eight figures as far as gross, recurrent overall revenue. So that's the hurdle, right? That's the next challenge, because everything I've learned is there's something it takes to get to 1 million, and then once what it took to get to 1 million is not what it's going to take to get to five, which is not what it's going to take to get to 10. So you have to learn along the way, and you have to change, you have to modify, you have to grow. And then going from 10 to 20, again, you have to make changes, you have to learn, you have to figure out you know what your team needs to look like, and cast that vision as the owner. But so that's kind of where we're at. That's the next stage. Right now, we're doing a lot of good health checks to make sure that our business is healthy. So are we profitable? Number one. Do we have the right profit margin? That's number two. We
Right.
think we're profitable. Whether we have the right profit margin, that's the question mark at this stage.
That's a very interesting question,
Mhm.
because not everybody is, number one, able, number two, willing to answer, right? It's very personal. So I get that. And so, how do you set goals then? What's your approach to goal setting? Do you do these on a yearly basis, monthly, weekly? What's the approach?
The approach is, what can I control? So I want to get down to, what can I control? Um, and there's only, uh, if you don't know, there's only two things you can control. It's your personal actions and your personal attitude. So that being said, yes, there are things that we want to achieve in business, and in life, right? But uh, my goals are centered around my actions. What what actions can I control that I can take on a regular basis that are going to track towards the goal, right? So I don't really necessarily track the outcome so much, especially on a daily basis. But I do track, did I do my activities that I needed to do to accomplish my goal?
That is awesome. So when do you decide? Is that like a daily practice? These are my activities for today, or is it more like a week or maybe a month?
So I look at it weekly, because, all right, let's say I'm in the sales and prospecting mode. I got that hat on my business, and we want to gain two customers a month, right?
Yes.
That's the goal. But I can't control whether a customer rings the phone or visits the website, but I can control what I do to you know make new relationships with people, be friendly to people. It could be as simple as opening the door for another person and smiling and saying, "Hey, how are you?" Because that's, I mean, I can control that, right? That's where it starts. But it's effectively doing that and connecting with people. And so my personal activity goals are, hey, I need to connect with, I'm just throwing a number out. I
Yeah.
know what it is, but I don't want to tell you what it is.
No, no, that's fine.
But let's just say that I need to connect with 10 people a week to make sure I have two customers a month.
Right, right. And that's what you lay out from the get-go.
Yeah.
These are the activities that are going to lead me to it. So we believe that you can get whatever it is that you want,
Hmm.
but you got to dream big, you got to plan it, and then you need to get granular, almost to the what am I doing in the next hour that tracks towards what I want to achieve
Yeah.
in the real future. So that is awesome. I love that approach that you have. And so when we're thinking about the future, right, we also
Hmm.
think about the growth, right? Like the people that we need to bring on board. Now that you have a culture that you have become a guardian of, right? That you're using systems and tools to bring the right kind of people around you. You also have to be thinking about the next levels of development for them. So, how's your leadership development? Is that how do you get them ready for whenever they need to take charge?
Yeah. So continuing education is a requirement on my team. So always making sure you're aware of the latest, technology that's coming out, educating yourself on the tools that we have. So you've got to be proficient, right? And then leadership, is an interesting, topic. A lot of people can go learn how to manage stuff. Or can you manage projects? Can you do this? But it really boils down to the way I spell leadership is EXAMPLE. So if I've got people setting the right example
Yes.
and they're treating people correctly, then they gravitate to leadership. Now, I also promote leadership from within. I also guide them, say, hey, I've got a couple of books that I'd like you to read. If I see somebody that's kind of engaging in at that next level and kind of wanting to, better themselves, I'm going to put books, I'm going to put resources in front of them, and I'm going to watch them and see if they take on. I'm not going to force it on them. I don't want to force leadership mantle on anybody on my team, but I want them to grab it. I want them to take it, and that's who I'll promote.
There you go. So those who seek to improve themselves are the ones who are going to get the benefits from it.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly agree. All right. Well, we have certainly covered a lot of ground in this conversation. It really is a lot for the few minutes that we want to make sure that we keep it in. But for those who are watching, I highly encourage you to save these, come back a few times for an additional watch. Um, there's always in every interview we do a lot of great nuggets, and there are things that are going to hit a nerve, and you need to come back and make sure that you do something with it. So as we begin to wrap up, a few rapid fire questions for you, quick couple of hit answers for each. Um, you ready?
Mhm. Go ahead.
What is the key to success for you?
Staying disciplined.
Discipline. Hardly agree. That's good. What is one piece of advice that you will give other business owners?
Stay disciplined. Stick with it. Do what works. If it doesn't work, though, change it. Get some coaching and find out whether it's actually going to work for you.
There you go. And what is one book that you're reading right now or that you will recommend somebody
Uh,
in
well,
business?
I'm reading a couple of them. Atomic Habits is a really good one. Think and Grow Rich. I read that one once a year. Um, so Darren Hardy's book, Entrepreneurial Roller
Compound
Coaster, is
effect.
really good.
Okay. All right.
So if you're just getting started, that's probably one that I would say, hey, read that and then make your decision whether you start a business or not.
I agree. It's a great book. And so, if you had to choose only one area of your business that you could immediately improve tomorrow, what will it be?
Ah, well, we're already improving it. But it's just getting a better picture of our financial health. And then the second is sales and marketing.
Yeah, very good. And so, before we get into the final question of the day, how can other people learn about you or your company? How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so website's greencube.com. We spell it with a Q because we think we're cute. So GREENQUBE.com. Best way to get a hold of us.
Very good. And so, last question of the day, what do you find is most inspiring for you today?
My wife.
Oh, there you go. You probably going to look at this and say, "Oh yeah, that's
No,
excellent." It is our personal life that drives
yes.
it, right? So, thank you so much, Hunter, for being here, and thank you everybody for joining us. I will encourage you, those who are watching, to share it. You never know who might be inspired by listening to what they hear about today. Make it a great day. Until next time.